So I feel that my job is to help people know how to do it. And that's why I call it a handbook of hope.
Wonderful. It's empowering for them to
Well,
have this guideline, this book to teach them one step at a time to rebuild their life. That's empowerment, to get your life
Yes, it
back.
is. You have to. And life is a very fragile thing.
Yes, it is.
Uh,
I agree.
life, but life can be worthwhile. But you got to fight for it.
You have to what?
Fight for it. Sorry, I still have verbal problems.
Oh, no.
Sure
Sometimes I
Sure
have your
don't.
problems.
I have all kinds of problems, but life is worth doing, and I find that by taking each step at a time, knowing that the end result is going to be such a beautiful thing.
And you held that in
That's
sight.
right. That's the goal. There's an old saying in business, and I'm an old ad man. Yes, I was one of those madmen that you see on TV.
Let's talk about that. You had an awesome career going. You were the fruit of the loom guy, weren't you? The grape.
Yes, ma'am.
And not just the grape, but you birthed the whole idea, didn't you? The concept to advertise men's underwear on television. I remember as a little girl watching Fruit of the Loom commercials on TV. And here I am meeting you now.
Well, thank you. Eva Marie, the Fruit of the Loom started, the ad manager for Fruit of the Loom had a problem. How do you sell men's cotton underwear on television? We had a meeting of all the advertising people, and we were vibing a bit and talking about the problems, and our wives were wise enough to kind of slink out of the room. And we decided that we'd be able to sell the stuff with humor. And so we appointed each of the ad managers or VPs or what they were, high-powered guys. Tall guy looked like a top banana. Another guy looked kind of like a fig, pointed head and a big bottom. And we had fun. Coats were off, vests and so forth, and we were humorously figuring out, playing out, acting out how it would be if we did it on television. Yeah. Well, the next morning, a very hungover ad manager for Fruit of the Loom called us all up and said, I think we've got something. So we took it to the agency, and they went from there, and they made the commercial, which has become rather famous. There are a lot of stories.
But you had a very successful career going, and here you were 38 years, I hate to say
38 years
old, I'd say 38 years young.
Well,
you were just starting out in your profession, or you were at the peak of your profession in advertising.
I had it made.
Yeah.
Money, power, everything.
Right.
I was myopic. Throughout this whole process, I've become such a better person.
Through having this stroke, you've become a better person than you were before the stroke.
Every time you do something and accomplish something, you learn something, and you profit from that something, and you make it work.
Well, I think it's about our soul journey and the evolution of our soul.
Yeah.
And we're not living here just to live from our mind and our ego. I think that we're here as a soul being, as a spirit first, having a human experience. You know what I mean? But we're a spiritual being first.
So
alchemy.
There's a difference between spiritual and religious. Religious is strictly practice.
Well, some people that are religious are spiritual too.
Oh, very definitely.
Yeah. But I know what you mean.
But if
doctrine versus spirituality.
That's right. But if you realize that as a human being, as opposed to the other animals in this universe, you realize that you have a soul. You are more than just an automaton. You are more than just somebody doing something, going through the motions. Oh, I wish some of our young people today would do this in business, but hey, they don't. There's too much money involved, and there's other things involved. But I'm not going to get in that on that right now.
You wish they would do what?
Pardon?
That they're not doing. You wish they would do
Well,
what?
I just wish they would believe that there's something more to life. And every time you do something, and I go back to the old business axiom that I got off the subject on, the first 90% of the job takes 90% of the time. The other 10% of the job takes the other 90% of the time. People have got to realize that nothing is going to be easy if it's going to be worthwhile. All those millions of people out there are going to be able to live a good life, a productive life, no matter what their disease, if they realize that they themselves, your program, spiral up. If they realize they can spiral up to make it happen for them. And that's what you're doing. And I compliment you so much.
Oh, thank you. And that's what you're doing.
I'm trying. In my
You're
humble
doing
way.
it. You're doing it. And look at you. I mean, you're still golfing and, right?
I play golf now. That's all they'll let me do. They wouldn't let me do anything else. That has a handicap. Figured that was okay for me.
And you have a girlfriend. You told me you have a girlfriend.
Yes, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah. And, but to hear you talk, you're a very effective communicator. You don't have a lisp. I understand every word. You got your whole life back, didn't you? I mean, your communication.
Yes.
But you got an enhanced life back. Because there's a dimension to you that has blossomed that wasn't there before.
That's correct.
Through this episode and healing process journey.
Everybody who has a serious illness or a serious operation has an opportunity to make themselves a better person.
An opportunity.
That's right.
But not everybody takes that.
But
they want to be the victim. And as long as they're the victim, how can God move through your victimhood? He can't, because you're too busy being the victim. If you want to connect with the powers of the universe for wellness, you have to get out of your victimhood and become the victor. And you are the victor.
Thank you.
And I'm a victor. And lots of people are victors over a incurable disease.
That's right.
Or something horrible happened to them. And they are stronger for having had that experience because they moved out of their victimhood into being the victor.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what you've done.
Yes. It's not a dark victory. It's a very light, illuminating victory.
Well, you're luminous. Your eyes shine. You've got a big spark, like a star in the middle of your eyes. And, that's because you're awake, aware, and alert. You're alive.
You have to be. You become alive. I think in the very beginning, it probably took about 2 hours for ablutions in the bathroom. Brushing your teeth and shaving and this kind of
Things
stuff.
we take for granted every day. It took you
Exactly.
2 hours. Wow.
I would bounce off the walls and manage to find my way to the bathroom. The book tells it all. There's some fun stories in there. One of these days, I'd like to tell you about the story of the 25 head of cattle stranded on an island in the middle of the swollen Missouri and Mississippi rivers.
Is that in the book?
It's in the book.
Well, some people are going to have to, find out that story by reading the book because we have to wrap up right now. Okay. We're out of time.
Okay.
It went so fast. It went
Thank
so
you.
fast.
I'm sorry. I could go on forever.
No, don't be sorry. It's wonderful. Thank you for your time and your compassion for humanity in writing this book and sharing your power with the world.
Welcome.
It's beautiful.
That's a compliment.
It's beautiful what you've done. You know, to want to not only have compassion enough for yourself to rejuvenate yourself in your life, but now to want to share what you did to help others and give them hope and belief that they can do it too.
That's what your program does. And I thank you for letting me talk on it.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Well, I appreciate knowing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today to Spiral Up with Ava Marie. And as usual, I hope that you spiral up in your life.